Snell, Elise Snell.
Don, thanks for giving our group such a great speech. Sometimes as Minnesotans, it's really hard to remember that warmer climates do exist outside of Minnesota, especially on such a gorgeous day. We're starting to get a little taste of spring, so it was a nice reminder that that warm climate does exist. Some of the things that I really appreciate about his speech is the use of humor. I looked around and lots of people were giggling and cracking a smile throughout, and I think that's super important to really engage your audience and bring something funny. One that really sticks out that I thought was pretty entertaining was when you said that he'd learned how to put sunscreen even here, and so he's kind of poking fun at himself a little bit at the same time as pulling us in to kind of think about what he's really talking about. Also, shark fishing and adrenaline with using the NASCAR earmuffs that you don't do it because you want the adrenaline rush. Every time there were people laughing throughout the audience. Another thing that Don did very well was he had a lot of body movement that enhanced what he was talking about. There was a time where he said, you know, we got in the truck and we were driving down the road, and it helps you visualize kind of through that whole storyline of what he's physically doing during that point in time. Another thing that I really noticed, and I think this is a hard thing for speakers to really learn how to do well, is create good eye contact. And it wouldn't be a glimpse at a person for a second, but he really grabbed on for 2-3 seconds. And I think as a person in the audience, it's kind of like your teacher up in front. You know that he's going to look at you and make sure that you're paying attention to his speech. So I think that eye contact is really important throughout your whole speech. Some of the recommendations that I would have for Don moving to make this speech a little bit better is louder. This room is a very big room, and there's a lot of people absorbing a lot of the sound. So maybe consider using a microphone, or if you can, shout it out to the back row so that everyone can hear you. Another thing is you were a little bit monotone at points throughout his speech, and there were a lot of opportunities that Don had throughout his speech to really have some vocal variety. One of the times when you were like, we were shivering because it's so cold. So you had a lot of times I feel like vocal variety and body movement can kind of be paired very nicely together. And so you had the body movement, but not so much the vocal variety, and I think that would definitely enhance it. One other thing I kind of struggled with throughout the speech is the whole flow, and I think it's a lot of times hard when you're telling a personal story. It kind of felt more like you were telling me a story than what's kind of the main point. Where are you taking me? What is the story about? And I think that's a struggle with telling a story in general. But in conclusion, I really think it was a great speech, and I'm glad that I could have some reminiscing time about being in warm weather, and I'm glad that summer's almost here. Thank you.